Welcome everyone. I've just recently hit 300,000 gamer score and I've got 100% completion now. The game I just finished has got me to 100% completion, so I thought now would be a great time to just give you a video on the games on my gamer tag or Gamercard and just go through them. Let you know for me which ones were really fun getting all the achievements in and which ones broke me. So we'll go through it. I'll just get to the bottom of the list first. So I've been hunting achievements probably for about 15 years, I'd say, but the past 5 years is when I started this account, and I just wanted to get 100% in every game. I used to like getting gamer score and achievements, but I never really cared for the 100%. And after about 5 years ago is when I got into just maxing every game out and trying to get 100% completion. So we'll go through the games now. So starting off the first sort of 20 games, I just played basically for gamer score, just to get some gamer score behind me, because I didn't want to be stuck on 2,000, 3,000. But 60-second shooter prime, that's a quick completion. All these are quick. Monopoly Plus, Forza Horizon 2, Fast and Furious takes a couple of hours. Is fun though. I think the first game I literally played that was a little bit hard was probably Limbo. There's an achievement in this for completing it, and I think you can only die a maximum of 5 times. And again, we've got a bit of fluff here. Quantum Break, that was like the first exclusive by Microsoft that I played on this account. Really good game. It's got a lot of flack, this one. There's a lot of people that are underwhelmed by it. I can understand why, but it's a good game just to enjoy, like a good 8 to 10 hours. The achievements are really easy, but it's definitely worth playing. Again, we got Unmechanical Extended, The Swapper, Never Alone, that's a good game. Numa Breath of Life, oh god, that's a walking simulator. Stick It to the Man, mixed feelings on that. I probably wouldn't play it if I were you. Zombie Driver Ultimate Edition, LA Cops, Thomas Was Alone is a very good game, but it's a quick completion. 6180 The Moon, that's just a little arcade game. Then we actually get to Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. It's basically a demo for Phantom Pain. There was a lot of controversy around that when they released it, but pretty quick completion, nothing too daunting either. I'd definitely say give it a play before you play Phantom Pain, if you haven't played that game yet, obviously. Adventures of Pip, I actually quite like this one, little retro platformer. Valiant Hearts: The Great War, that's a good game, made by Ubisoft. Good story, but you know, quick and easy completion. So COD 4, The Notorious. This is obviously, as most of you know, the one game that had a hard achievement in it that's sort of notorious for being hard, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. Crisis, that's a good game. Quick completion too, nothing too challenging. Wolfenstein: The New Order. I really want to do the second one. I think Mine Leaving would be a great challenge. I've seen a lot of those videos, but yeah, definitely for me, I'd like to go and do that. The New Order, fairly easy completion, great game, they should play it. Battlefield 4, a classic. It's had lots of multiplayer achievements for a bit of a ball ache to get, but I had so much fun getting the 100% in this. Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, classic. You should play that if you're into Lego games, and if you're not into Lego games, I definitely recommend playing at least one or two. There's a lot of collectibles in them though. Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, mediocre Final Fantasy game. Achievement wise, it's not too bad getting them all on. Take you like 40 hours, but there's nothing too difficult. Unravel, great game. Love my time with this one. It's published by EA, and it was originally made by like an indie developer. But yeah, it looks amazing. It's a great looking game. It's a nice sort of platformer-esque, a bit like I say Crash Bandicoot, but it's not Crash Bandicoot. But if you like those types of games, you'll like this. Walking Dead, the classic, just play the game, you get all the achievements. Rainbow Six Siege, I don't remember too much on this one, but it wasn't hard getting all the achievements in this, and I'm pretty sure they've changed the achievement requirements now. So that's, I think it's actually easier now. Now on Walking Dead Season 2, again, play it, you'll get all the achievements, they'll come naturally. Life is Strange, God, I had so many good things about this one. And obviously this is when I was into, I don't know, just playing like the hypey Walking Dead games. Heard loads of good stuff about Life is Strange. I thought it was crap. Sorry if you like that. But for me, it was like God, it was like a woke version of Walking Dead. Max Curse of the Brotherhood, very good game. Platformer, sort of, but you draw in. Hard to explain, but it's worth playing. Wolf Among Us, oh, that was brilliant. I actually like this one more than The Walking Dead, just because of the story it tells. Halo 5 Guardians, yeah, it's a classic, it's alright. Story was a massive letdown if you're a Halo fan. I'm not a big Halo fan. I do like playing them, and I have played them, but for me, I can't get on with the story. I'm not too interested, so you know, I'm not a massive Halo fan to comment too much on that. Alien Isolation, brilliant game, brilliant game. I highly recommend playing this one. Getting all the achievements on it was a really good experience. There is one achievement where you've got to complete the game without getting killed by the alien, I believe, which is daunting and a little bit difficult, but if you know, you can sort of, I think you can manipulate your saves, or you can save, and if you quit out the game quick enough, it doesn't count as a death or something like that. If the alien grabs you, but you're quick to quit, and it doesn't get to a certain scene in the animation, you'll be okay. Um, but yet, to be honest, it's not too difficult to not get caught by the alien, you know, if you've had enough practice with the game. Child of Light, I'd recommend playing this one. This is another Ubisoft published game. It's like a little turn-based RPG. I don't think you can get all the achievements in this though anymore, because I believe they shut down one of the. There's an achievement for gifting an item to a friend, and you can't do that anymore because I think they removed that feature, or they shut down the server for it or something. So if you're a completionist or you want to get all the achievements or whatever, you probably can't on Child of Light. So if you do want to play that, I'd look that up. But it's definitely worth playing. Costume Quest 2, shit, don't play it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist takes me back to my childhood. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. The achievements are fairly easy. Stick of Truth, brilliant game. Best South Park game there is, you know, I guess apart from the Fractured Butthole, but I actually think the Stick of Truth is the better game. It's classic turn-based sort of game, but it feels like you're in one of the episodes. They've done a really good job with that. It's definitely the best South Park game there is. Dragon Age Inquisition. Oh boy, this is it's an alright game. It's if you like Dragon Age, sure, play it. I think if you want to just shut off and have like a fantasy open world game to play this a bit RPG like, definitely play it. I definitely recommend playing this game. If you are a completionist, just be aware you're going to be spending like a good 80 hours on it. And it's one of those games where it's good and it's good for a playthrough, and I enjoyed it, but when you're trying to get all the achievements in it, it's just you're not gonna like 40 hours of your life. You're gonna like the first 40, and then you're gonna hate the next 40. The Fall indie game. Oh God, I can't remember much about this one. Bit of a sci-fi type game. If you want a quick completion, go ahead and play it. Inside, really good. I was a bit disappointed with the achievements in this one because they're really easy, and you basically get them all just for playing the game. But it's made by the people that made Limbo, and it's definitely worth playing. The Park, that's just a walking simulator. Walking Dead Michonne, another Walking Dead Telltale game. Deadpool, I've never played this on the 360, but they remastered it for the Xbox One, and yeah, I thought I'd give it a shot years ago. it's a bit ropey. It doesn't hold up very well, and it definitely feels like a 360 game. But I enjoyed it. It's a quick completion, and it's not, complete shovelware. So get into some bigger games now, I believe. This is where it gets a bit more serious. Gears of War Ultimate Edition, as you know, Gears of War grindy games. Um, this one has the classic seriously achievement. We have to get 10,000 online kills. And because this account's only like 5 years old, the 360 Gears of War I'd be willing to play. I used to love Gears of War back in the day, but it would take you way too long. Like there's nobody playing the original on the 360, and to get the seriously achievement, I'd have to boost it. And I played the Gears of War Ultimate Edition when it came out, so it had an active player base. Wasn't too bad getting all the achievements on. Obviously, it's grindy. The multiplayer is grindy. You're going to be playing it for a while, but I loved Gears back then. Campaign, you have to complete it on Insane, and that is hard. But it's you keep playing it, you keep practicing, you'll be all right. Rise Son of Rome gets a lot of hate. This one, this this is almost like a meme game, I believe. There's a lot of people that hate it, and then you've got the people that sort of defend it and say it's amazing. No, I wouldn't say it's amazing. Graphically, it is very good, but that is what it is. It's basically like a tech demo game for the Xbox One originally. Um, the gameplay elements could be tighter, but I definitely think it gets a bit too much hate for what it is. And I would definitely recommend playing this game. The achievements, the original 1,000 is fine, and then they added like an update that gave it another 1,000, and you have to play some online, but you can play that online solo. It's weird. And it's nothing too difficult, but it's a little bit grindy if you want the DLC 1000G. So be prepared for that. But I definitely recommend playing it. Forza Horizon 2. Well, this was my first Horizon game actually that I ever played. I loved it. Thought it was brilliant. As Forza Horizon games are, it's probably one of Microsoft's best exclusives in my opinion. They definitely make the best racing games. Although they're they're quite samey nowadays, and you're not getting any different with the latest Horizons apart from a setting change. So Horizon 2 achievements ain't too bad. I don't think you can get all of them anymore because I believe they've shut down some of the services to get a couple of them, like the Rivals achievements. Um, it's not difficult, but it is grindy, and there is an achievement where you have to complete every single championship, and that fucking took me ages. So if you want all of them, I don't think you can do it anymore anyway. But yeah, that's a massive grind. Star Wars Battlefront. Oh well, this one, this one was pretty much, well, it was all online. I had fun with it. The game was underwhelming, as we all know, and they could have done so much better with it. But I enjoyed my time with it. The DLC achievements were a pain in the ass, not gonna lie, and it was a grind. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Complete Edition. This was my first ever introduction to The Witcher. Absolutely fell in love with it. I stayed away from The Witcher because it was so hyped and everybody kept talking about it. It put me off the game. And I think I got round to playing it like a couple of years later when this Complete Edition came out. I think I had nothing to play at the time, and I was in the mood for like a big open world game to sort of sink some time into, and I just fell in love with this. I thought the storytelling's brilliant. Combat, I really, really enjoyed. I see a lot of people slamming the combat a little bit. I get it, but I think it works really well. It's tight. The quests and the dialogue and the heart and soul that is in this game, I think is amazing. It's one of my favorite games of all time now. And getting all the achievements on it was such a good experience. I loved every minute of it. DLCs, the DLCs are better than most main games that come out nowadays. In terms of value for money and quality, they're probably the best DLCs ever made. I'd go as far to say. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, that is a good game. It's a quick little romp. Achievements are easy if you just want to chill out and get a quick completion. Same with Contrast, although I don't rate that game much. I was glad when I was done with it. Batman Telltale series, you know what you're getting with Telltale. Pretty good storytelling. And it is just to complete the game, you get all the achievements, jobs. So Titanfall 2, really good game, really good campaign, short and sweet. Achievement wise, easy, bar that one achievement where you've got to do the gauntlet in under like 30 seconds, but you know, give it an hour or two's practice and you'll get it. Another Telltale game, Tales from the Borderlands, that's a good one. Call of Duty 2, play the game on veteran, you get all the achievements, as simple as that. Although there are a couple of levels on Call of Duty 2 that probably took me 45 minutes because they're right pain in the ass. Hitman Absolution, probably the worst Hitman game if you're speaking to a Hitman fan. I did enjoy it. Um, as I don't really like just being dropped into a setting and then go do some shit and just stuff happens. This one had more of a story, although it was pretty poor. But it's a good experience for getting all the achievements in. Game of Thrones, probably the weakest Telltale game. King's Tale Final Fantasy 15. This is like some little spin-off uh, arcadey type game. Nothing really to talk about in this. It's a quick completion. BioShock Remastered, BioShock 2. Brilliant games. I, uh, if you've played them, play. If you haven't played them, definitely play them. The achievements, BioShock 2, the achievements are really easy. That's actually quite a quick completion. BioShock 1, that's pretty easy too, although you do have to get all the audio logs, so just be prepared for collectibles. You'll need to use a collectible guide. I believe you need to complete the game on hard without dying as well, but again, hard isn't too bad, and you can like save scum in it to prevent yourself from like losing out on the achievement. So we've got Mass Effect Andromeda, oh, probably the worst Mass Effect I've played, but at the time when it came out I enjoyed it because it was new and shiny. Achievements sucked on it. Well, they didn't suck, most of them are fine, but there were like one or two that you just... It was one of them, you had to spend like 5 to 10 hours at the end of the game mopping things up, getting collectibles, and I just had enough of the game. Resident Evil HD Remaster, Remake, whatever you want to call it. Classic game, Resident Evil is what it is. You know what you get yourself into. All the achievements, not too bad. You know, I'd say a little bit difficult if you're not used to playing Resident Evil and you go into the tank controls, but you have to do things like complete the game without saving in one run, complete the game without using the item box, without healing, stuff like that. It's got a lot of replayability, and you can speedrun these games in like an hour and a half, so... Batman Arkham Knight, this is probably a big one, probably one of the biggest ones so far on the list. There's a lot of collectibles. Obviously, I've done all the DLC. Absolutely fantastic game. You must play it if you like Batman. As well as obviously the whole Arkham series, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City. Achievement wise, it's a long one, and you do have to do all the combat challenges, and I know people will struggle with those. There is one achievement in this where I believe you got to get Killer Croc to spawn, and you have to get a pretty high combo. But again, if you practice enough, yeah, you'll be okay. Deadlight Director's Cut. Oh, this I quite like this game. I played it on the 360 back in the day. It got a HD sort of remaster and 1000G. This game's fine for the completion, apart from one achievement where you have to complete the game on Nightmare mode, which means you have to. I think you have to do it all in one sitting. Yeah, you have to do it all in one sitting, and if you die, you get put to the beginning of the chapter you died on. And there's 3 chapters, but they're all like an hour and a half long each. And I remember getting stuck on chapter 2 on this game for like 5 hours because I just kept dying near this chase sequence at the end. Yeah, it was actually a really frustrating experience to get all the achievements in, but I did enjoy it, and it was good getting it because there was that one hard achievement in it. Lego Star Wars, I enjoyed this, but again, massive collectible hunt, and it's one of the weakest Lego games. Far Cry Primal, dog shit game, hated it. Uh, People like this, and I don't understand why. This is like where I started to get a bit burnt out from the Ubisoft games and their reused assets. Far Cry Primal was literally, I believe, Far Cry 4, and they just shuffled the map about a bit. Um, and yeah, everything was sort of the same. The story was non-existent. I really was excited to play this, and I was so underwhelmed by it. Pain in the ass to max out as well, because you have to get all the skill points. It's just a big collectible sort of fest. Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, really loved this game, and then it started to get tedious, and like the novelty of it wore off for me. Um, Fairly easy completion. You just have to play a lot of it. Probably looking at about 80 hours, I reckon. Doom here, fantastic game. The reboot series. This was a pain in the ass to get all the achievements on because it had multiplayer, which I'm not even sure how it works now, but I'm sure I think they changed some of the achievement requirements, or they might be a bit easier now, or they actually might be a bit harder. Or I could be getting mixed up with Doom Eternal. But definitely play this game as an achievement perspective. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a bit of a pain. And you are going to have to play some of the online, so just be aware, and you might want to look those up, make sure they're still obtainable. Elder Scrolls 5, what do we need to say about that? You can play it on everything, including your toaster, as we all know. It's a very good game, though, and I thoroughly enjoy. It's probably my favourite Elder Scrolls. I know I'll probably get a lot of hate because 4's notoriously the best, but I just liked how this was a lot more modernised. When I played it, it just felt more for the current gen that I was playing on. As opposed to when I played Elder Scrolls 4, I think I played it like 8 years too late. I played it like 8 years after release, so it felt like I was playing a PS2 game. Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition, not much to say on this one. It's a really fun game, to be honest, and I think it's quite unique. There's not many things like it. I had a lot of fun with it, and the achievements are all pretty simple. You do have to play online for this, so be aware of that. Other than the online achievements, they're pretty easy. Deus Ex Mankind Divided, brilliant game. Achievement wise, tedious, and you got to get a lot of collectibles, and it's also got some like tacked on online mode that you'll have to play, which was a ball ache, so just be aware of that. But I would definitely recommend playing this game. Dead Space 2, an oldie but goodie, brilliant game. I loved this so much. It's my favourite Dead Space. You have to do hardcore mode, free saves. That was probably my biggest challenge so far on this profile. I've done it a couple of times now though, and I really enjoyed it. It's very tense, and if you want the challenge, it's a good achievement to have on your profile. I'd definitely recommend playing this. Witcher 2, nowhere near as good as any of the, or nowhere near as good as Witcher 3, obviously. I just played it because I fell in love with The Witcher 3 and wanted to experience more of the story. This one's a bit more political. Achievement-wise, pretty simple. You just play the game. I think you have to do it on the hardest setting, and there's a couple of there's two different endings, I believe, that you can get. Assassin's Creed the Ezio Collection. Right, well, I loved Assassin's Creed 2, I loved Brotherhood, and I thought Revelations was naff. Um, but these are classic games, and I wanted to play 2 and Brotherhood again because I haven't played them in ages. I think you know what you're getting yourself into in this. Collectibles. Assassin's Creed 2 is a quick completion. Brotherhood's fairly quick. Revelations is a bit longer. But you know, out of all the Assassin's Creed games, I recommend this one probably the most because they're classic Assassin's Creed. Overcooked. If you have a girlfriend, prepare to not have a girlfriend after this one. And the achievements ain't too bad, but you do have to 3-star every level. Resident Evil 4, amazing game. Fairly easy completion, just need to play it, and you do have to complete it on professional. But by the time you get to professional, you've got like little things that help you, like an armor suit for Ashley, so she doesn't get taken away. It's more than manageable for most people to get the maxi on that. Advanced Warfare, probably an underrated COD in my opinion. A lot of people give this one a lot of slack. I mean, a lot of flack even. Achievement wise, it's fine. Campaign easy. It does have zombies and Easter eggs, so yeah, bit of a ball ache, and you will need somebody to help you. I think a couple of them need 2 players. I could be wrong, because I know I did a lot of this solo. Wolfenstein Old Blood, brilliant game. Nothing too daunting in this one. Obviously, it's no Mein Leben. You just play the game, get collectibles, job done. Resident Evil 7, loved it. Not my favorite Resident Evil, and there's some hard achievements in this one. Ethan must die. That's that's a difficult game mode for me. I struggle with that. Also, the DLC where it's a card game and you have to play blackjack, very difficult. And it's just RNG. That's why it's difficult because you just get absolutely slapped by the AI. Walking Dead New Frontier, don't even remember this. Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy, I think it was okay. South Park Fractured Butthole, definitely recommend playing this, especially if you like Stick of Truth or South Park. Play this game. Resident Evil 5, really, really like this one, and I like the fact that it's co-op. This one gets a lot of hate too. And yes, alright, it's not the best Resident Evil out there. It does have problems. But I really enjoyed this. I remember playing it on the 360 back in the day. And it's just a really good co-op game as well. Walking Dead Michonne, that's stacked. Obviously, that's the 360 version. I played backwards compatible. Evil Within 2, brilliant game. Play it if you like Resident Evil or survival horror type games. This one I really enjoyed. Achievement wise, probably easier than the first one in my opinion. It's all very manageable, apart from you do have to play. I think it's got a Kumu again, but they've changed the descriptions. Like you only have like I think it's 7 saves. You got to complete the game, but you only have 7 saves. Split Second, really good racing game actually. Yes, achievement wise, it's difficult because you have to reach rank 1, and you can gain or lose ranks if you lose races. So you can go up like 5 ranks if you perform well. But you can also go back down to like you start at rank 100 and you have to get to rank 1 for an achievement, and you can win 5 games in a row and gain like 20 points on your rank. But if you lose, like the next couple of races, you'll then lose points. So you can end up going back to 100. You have to be consistently good at the multiplayer. I'm not even really sure if it's still active. So that was quite a difficult one to get all the achievements. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Oh my god, where do we start with this? We'll probably skip over it, but yeah, a lie of a game, shall we say, and just a multiplayer grind. Campaign was forgettable. I mean, I had fun for 4 hours or 5 hours, however long it was. But yeah, the multiplayer was a grind. I remember just grinding for hours, getting to rank 50, and it was all literally pay to win when I played it, because obviously I played it when it come out. I think I got it for the Christmas that it came out. Battlefield 1, really enjoyed this Battlefield. This one goes under the radar a bit, but I love this one. I thought it was really good. Obviously, a lot of multiplayer achievements. Not sure how active it is nowadays, so just be aware of that. Campaign was a bit weak, but yeah, I enjoyed that. Darkness 2, brilliant game, play it. It's a bit different from the first one, I believe it's more comic-y, like the comics. The 1000G is easy. I think you have to play on hard, and that's the hardest thing you have to do. Spec Ops: The Line, really, really good game. Play this one, great story. Only one achievement that's difficult, playing it on hardest difficulty. We done South Park Stick of Truth again, Xbox One version. Little Nightmares, great game if you like platformers. Achievements are all pretty easy on this, apart from one, where I think you have to speedrun it without dying. I can't exactly remember the requirements. Candleman, it's like Little Nightmares, but a kid's version. It's easy to get all the achievements. If you want a quick completion and you like some platforming, play it. It's cheap. Assassin's Creed Origins. This is like Assassin's Creed returning. I remember when they sort of, I wouldn't call it a reboot, but they transitioned from classic to, these big, massive open worlds. I remember getting this because I was still into Assassin's Creed. It looked like they made a change and it looked quite positive, and the graphics looked really good. And I just got the new console at the time. Achievement wise, you have to do everything, prepare to grind for collectibles, and the story, it's not non-existent, but like it's just a lot of them in these new ones they've done are just a bit defragmented. You get a bit of story here and there, and then you're just doing the same repeatable tasks like hundreds of times, and it's just got a lot of bloat in it. Modern Warfare Remastered, Ukulele. I don't think Spyro had come out, and I was itching for like a Spyro type game, and this one is a little bit. Well, it was the closest thing we had at the time. It's worth playing if you like 3D platform games like Mario and Spyro, I guess. But if you've got nothing else to play and you want something to scratch that itch, I guess play that. LA Noire, really liked this one. It's different from GTA, obviously, and it's not a GTA, but I had a lot of fun with it. Achievement wise, fairly simple, but there are some tedious things like getting 5 stars on every case. Got to get 100% completion, but it's not as bad as a GTA game. But you will need a guide, and that will take you a good 40, 50 hours, I reckon. Dishonored 2, brilliant game. The level design is impeccable in Dishonored. Achievements, fairly, well, they're not simple, they're a bit annoying. You've got to complete the game without being spotted, you've got to complete the game without killing anybody. But with a little bit of planning, it's fine. Same goes for Dishonored, Death of the Outsider. Insane Trilogy, Crash Bandicoot, these games are in my blood. I love them. Playing them when I was a child, like 7 years old, 8 years old. Couldn't wait to play this one again. The achievements are easy apart from Crash Bandicoot 1. And you have to do the Stormy Ascent level. And there's a few difficult things like some of the time trials, but you don't even have to get platinum. I believe it's just gold time trials. So Prey, really good game. Achievement wise, it's a bit of a drag, and it has DLC, but a brilliant, brilliant game. I'd recommend playing it. For me, though, it is one of those where once you've completed it, there's a lot of stuff you need to use guides for to go back and get some of them. Lego Incredibles, I enjoyed it, but it is a weaker Lego game. Just Cause 3, I was in the mood just for a big open world game to sort of sink my teeth into that was just arcadey and didn't take itself seriously. Just Cause is quite notorious for being like, collectible heavy, and this one was that. And if you don't want to spend a lot of your time doing everything on the map, then probably avoid this from an achievement perspective. But I did enjoy my time with it, and I'm glad I did it. Splinter Cell Conviction, obviously, for Splinter Cell lovers out there, this probably isn't their favourite one, but it has co-op in it, which I thought was brilliant. I really enjoyed playing that with my friends, and I did really enjoy the story of it. Pretty simple completion as well. There's nothing too bad in it, apart from some of the co-op stuff, like the Last Stand stuff. That is quite difficult actually, and you have to do it on realistic. I think the servers are still up, but I believe they are actually closing shortly, so I'd get on that, but I definitely recommend playing it. Walking Dead the Collection here. Yeah, that's just a play the game and you get 4000G. Far Cry 3 Classic Edition. Far Cry 3 is probably the best Far Cry, or my favourite, in my opinion. Really good story, this one. This is what blew Far Cry up again. Far Cry 5. Not much to say on this one. I was burnt out by this point of Ubisoft Far Cry games, but fell into the all, it's getting good reviews, so I'll play it. But again, Ubisoft always make consistent games that aren't bad, but the problem is everything's just always reused and it just becomes monotonous, especially when you're getting all the achievements. And I know that's no way to rate a game, and I don't, because I understand that you don't play games just to get all the achievements in. Most people don't, a lot of people don't. But even then, like, the game just ain't that good. Modern Warfare 2, we all know that's a classic. Hardest thing to do in that was get all 69 stars, which isn't too bad. Dead Space, amazing game. Fairly easy completion too, apart from you do have to do multiple playthroughs, but the game's so good, it's worth it. Cubot, we'll skip over that because it's literally a 5 minute completion. Bioshock Infinite, great game, I really like this. Maybe not as good as the first two, or many will say it isn't, but it's a different take, and I do really like this. There's like a couple of hard achievements, you got to do it on the hardest difficulty, and the DLC you have to. There's like this wave-based mode, almost like horde mode, and it gives you little objectives you have to do. Bit of a pain, but you can do it. It's not as hard as everybody says it is. Evil Within, brilliant game. Love this. I love the two Evil Withins. It is hard. Akumu mode, you're gonna die a lot. You're gonna get frustrated. Chapter 6, rest in peace on that. But just upgrade your flash bolts and your ice bolts, and you'll be good. And just practice. If you love survival horror, play this game, please. It's really good. Nier Automata, really good game. I love RPGs. I love Final Fantasies, the classic ones. This game's brilliant. Although you can literally buy the achievements, not with real money, but there's a store in game where you can just buy the achievements and they unlock. So this can be a really hard and long completion, or for most people, a really easy one. Gears of War 4. Oh, this is where I hated Gears after this game. This killed me. This is the first game on this list that nearly broke me. Um, oh, I've just backed out by accident. Yeah, so Gears of War 4. This one did nearly kill me, I tell you. Played it for how long have we played this? 28 days. Yeah, this one sucked. Absolutely sucked. They kept updating it with achievements every 6 months, just to do mad things, absolute mad stuff. I don't even know where to begin with this. But seriously, 4.0 was bad in itself. Um, you had to get a ridiculous amount of kills for some of these achievements. Oh, this gives me, oh my God, this just gives me PTSD looking at it. Um, it had a horrible card system. I had to play so much online. Oh yeah, you had to complete Iron Man, so you had to complete the game on hardcore, which meant you couldn't die, otherwise you got reset back to the start of the game. You had to complete Inconceivable mode, which is harder than Insane. That was a nightmare. Oh my God, I had to play Horde until I pretty much died. Oh, this was awful. If anybody has all the achievements on this, they'll know how much of a terrible experience it is. Definitely don't recommend if you're a completionist. Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls games, notoriously, yes, they're difficult, but achievement-wise, they're not too difficult. If you can, if you can play the game and you can beat the game, you can get all the achievements on this. It's just the game that's, you know, a little bit hard. But to be honest, I think Dark Souls games are very fair, and you're always learning, and they always make you a better player at that game. Lego Harry Potter collection, really good. Easy achievements, just a collectible fest. Batman, Telltale game. Yeah, just like the others, play it, complete it. Tekken 7. I fancy some Tekken because I hadn't played it in ages. It was fine. I probably won't go back and play Tekken anytime soon. I was just in the mood for a fighting game. It's a quick completion too, a couple of online achievements. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, a great single player romp, good story, and the achievements easy. Spyro Reignited Trilogy, loved my time with this. It takes me back to my childhood. Achievements are all easy, but the achievements, it's a great achievement list because it just makes you do everything in the games. I loved it. Forza Horizon 3. This was a grind, like all of them. Easy, but just a grind, and you got to do a lot of online, and you got to just win every race on the whole map, and it took me a long time. I mean, how long was I playing this for? Um, okay, 4 days, not too bad. So, like, you're looking at 100 hours. And then we get to, yep, Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, this one nearly killed me as well. This was like a Gears job. Game is a masterpiece, as we all know. The single player is literally a masterpiece. But everything this game requires you to do, it makes you do everything. If you want all the achievements, be prepared to be spending, you're looking at probably 200 hours, I reckon, in this. Because you have to, and some of the stuff you have to do in it, skinning every animal, researching every animal. Oh my God, I was loading saves, reloading saves just to get. There was a bird I needed. Oh, a robin. Oh my God, it took me about 4 hours to find a robin I needed to study. It was awful. But the game, you have to play it. It's amazing. If you do care about achievements, just be prepared. You're gonna have to play some online, which sucked, by the way, when I played it, because it was so bare bones when it came out. And you're gonna have to just do everything in that story. So, your 100 hours of just playing the game and enjoying it is going to be amazing. But then when you go back for achievements like these gold medals and skinning and studying everything and the 100% completion, it's going to test your patience. Also, finding a permanent home for the squirrel statue, yeah, that was not fun. Final Fantasy 15. I'm convinced Square Enix can't make Final Fantasy games anymore. Obviously, I haven't played 16 because it's on the PlayStation, although that does look a lot better. But 15, oh man, I was so disappointed by this because I am a die-hard Final Fantasy fan. I love them. But ever since, 12 on the PlayStation 2, I just don't think they've made a decent anywhere. They're not bad, but nowhere near the love and heart of the original Final Fantasy series. Ghost Recon Wildlands, shite, don't play it. Achievement grind was horrible. Also, the worst DLC I've ever played in my life. It's a scam. They've just taken the original map and cut it up into bits and rearranged it and then gone, here's a DLC. If you do have friends, and you really like Tom Clancy, open world games, then sure, play it. But if you want to get all the achievements on it, you're not going to have a fun time, and it's very tedious. This was so underwhelming, this game. And for anybody that says, yeah, but if you play with mates, it's amazing. Like anything you play with mates is better. Doesn't matter what it is. It can be terrible, but if you have a mate and you play, it's going to make it fun. If you do just want to have a laugh with your mates, by all means, play it. It's not too bad. But achievement-wise, if you want to get them all, you're going to end up hating your life. Final Fantasy X and 10-2 HD Remaster. This is two games in one. I love Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy IX are my favourite Final Fantasy games. This was a grind getting all the achievements, but I loved every minute of it because I loved the games. Final Fantasy X-2, actually, I did not like getting all the achievements in. A fucking nightmare. And 10-2 is just a massively inferior game to 10. Crash Team Racing, very good game. Loved that as a kid. The Oxide Time Trials, I'd say, are difficult for people, and they are difficult, don't get me wrong, but I've played this game so much. Yeah, it was second nature to me, this one. Obviously I had to grind a bit, and it was hard for me. But if you like these games, and if you like Crash and kart races, definitely play it. It's more than achievable. Batman Arkham Asylum, The Return to Arkham HD Remaster, great game, recommend it. Achievement wise, fairly straightforward. It's probably the easiest of the trilogy. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I really enjoyed this one. It's got a couple of achievements that are a bit difficult. Does it have a permadeath? I think it might. Or maybe that's Rise of the Tomb Raider. This one, achievement wise, isn't too bad, but you are going to spend a lot of time getting collectibles and doing everything on the map. Rayman Origins, yeah, good game, really like that. Nice platformer, not too difficult. Wolfenstein Youngblood, don't play it. If you like Wolfenstein, this is just going to make you not like Wolfenstein. And please do not play this, do not use this one as your entry point into Wolfenstein, because you just won't play the rest of them. I'd recommend skipping this one. Achievements are horrible as well. You're gonna be playing the game for about 15 hours, and then you're gonna spend 30 hours grinding achievements, and it's doing horrible stuff. A Way Out, great game. Have to play it with a friend though. Achievements are simple, but it's a great experience. Play this game. Lego Indiana Jones, classic Lego game, collectibles. Middle Earth, Shadow of War. Ah, I have mixed feelings with this. They are good games. Achievement wise, bit of a pain getting them all, not gonna lie. But there's just something about this, it sort of reminds me a bit of a Ubisoft game where they are good, but you just get a bit, it falls into repetition a lot. And I was burnt out by the end of it. Final Fantasy VIII, classic, probably, the worst of the classics. That might be a bit controversial, but I love this game, even so. Achievement wise, fairly easy. All the achievements on these Final Fantasies, you can use boosters as well, so it sort of makes the achievement lists really easy. Unravel 2, loved the first one, so I decided to play this one. Achievement list, I'm going to say there's going to be a lot of people. This has a really high ratio and low completion rate because you have to get gold medals. I didn't think it was anywhere near as hard as what people believe it to be, or the achievements sort of say. But if you like the first one, I definitely recommend playing the second one, and it's really not too difficult to get all the achievements in. Blair Witch, oh, This is like a first-party Microsoft horror game. It's mediocre. I'd move on, and the achievements weren't fun to get. Outlast, really good horror game, scary. Achievements are nowhere near as insane as the second one, but they're just stressful. But I definitely recommend playing this if you're into horror, and they're more than achievable for everyone. Call of Cthulhu, mediocre game. It's like a detective game. Achievement wise, bit of a pain. You have to use a guide really. Team Sonic Racing, not a good kart racer. I'm just gonna skip over that one. Getting the achievements took way too long. Splinter Cell Blacklist, good game, not as good as Conviction in my opinion. Achievements, fairly simple. Play it, definitely worth doing. Although saying that, if you want the completion, I think they may have shut down the online. I could be lying. Just check it because it does have online achievements. Resident Evil 2, amazing game. Play it. All the achievements fairly straightforward, apart from that one DLC achievement, Hell of a Sheriff. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, classic, probably one of the best Star Wars games they've made, modern Star Wars game. Again, it has a horrible map to get all the collectibles, and I believe this one has no fast travel in it. Um, so you're gonna spend a lot of time just backtracking. That was a ball ache, and the last 10 hours of playing this game is a bit of a pain, just mopping up achievements. But you know, I had a good time with it, and I'd definitely recommend playing. Monster Hunter World, this is another game that almost broke me. A really good game. I had loads of fun with it. I always played it co-op with a friend, and we had a laugh, and it was great. But this game, if you want the completion, be prepared to be spending a hell of a lot of time on it. 20 days it took me. You have to just grind so much. And you can play for like 100 hours and still have fun. I did. But once you start getting to the last few achievements, these ones, getting large crowns and small crowns, well, boy, you have fun loading in, measuring up a monster and quitting, and doing that for hours on end until you find a monster that's a big size or a small size. Um, I'm proud of this one, but it's only because it's a massive grind. It is a brilliant game though, but if you're an achievement hunter, just be so aware that you're going to spend a lot of your life playing it. Final Fantasy VII, amazing game, classic, easy completion. Plague Tale Innocence, really great story-driven game. I recommend playing this. Achievements are simple. Kingdom Hearts 3, I love Kingdom Hearts as I like Final Fantasy. Kingdom Hearts 3 for me was a letdown of a Kingdom Hearts game. It's still good. I'd still recommend play it. If you love Kingdom Hearts, play Kingdom Hearts 3. Achievement wise, it's actually the base game's fine and easy. DLC fucking hard. You have to what did I have to do? You have to do like you have to beat a guy called Yozora. He was a nightmare. You have to do the Organization 13 battles, and they were really oh yeah, they were hard because you had to complete the whole game again, but you had to get a certain rank, and in order to get that rank, you had to do things that hindered you throughout your playthrough, like constantly losing HP while playing the game, not being able to use items. So it made you do a whole playthrough of the game from the DLC with all these restrictions, and it was very difficult. Getting that rank was actually really hard. So a good completion to have though. And if you love Kingdom Hearts, play Kingdom Hearts 3. Sekiro, yep, from software game. It's hard. Sekiro was hard, but I'm glad I've done it, and it's worth having on your list. If you like from software games, I recommend playing this, but it's not a Dark Souls game, so don't go into it thinking it's going to be like Dark Souls because it's not. It's very linear, and it doesn't have any customization really. Overcooked 2, fairly simple completion. Again, it's one of them. If you've got a girlfriend, you'll have fun playing it, but you'll also probably break up. Need for Speed Rivals, it's fine. It's okay. Achievement list wise, it's easy, apart from there's a couple of online things which I'm not sure, knowing Need for Speed, they're probably down now. Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. Yeah, we've played the 360 version, you know what you're getting yourself into. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. My personal favourite, I love pirates, and I loved this game. Most people, it's their favourite. I recommend if you're going to play Assassin's Creed, play this game, please. Achievement wise, easy. A lot of collectibles. It was fun, nothing tedious apart from like Kenway's fleet. You can't have control over that, so you just have to wait. Also has multiplayer achievements, so be aware of that. Metro Exodus, brilliant game. I'm not sure if I'd say it's better than the first two, but it looks amazing. Great graphics. I really recommend playing the Metro series if you haven't. Achievement wise, it's a little bit difficult and you're going to spend a lot of time on it. Um, I will say, yeah, achievement wise, this one is a bit of a pain just because you have to do a few playthroughs, I believe. It also has DLC. Final Fantasy 12, not my favourite Final Fantasy, but you know, I want to get the maxi on every Final Fantasy I can, so I was going to do 12 no matter what. This one's a bit of a long one, and the story's very weak for me. Toy Story 3, you'd be surprised, quite a good game. Lots of collectibles in it, and you have to get every collectible, I believe. I'd use a guide because you're going to be searching for one you've missed, and you can't track them, so a bit of a ball ache. SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, Rehydrated. Good game. If you like platformers, if you like your Crash Bandicoots and whatnot, I'd play this, but it's definitely nowhere near to that tier of being good. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I don't know why I did this to myself, but yeah, I played Odyssey because I love Greek mythology. This is a good game. It's a Ubisoft good game. Have fun getting the maxi on it. Takes ages. You have to do a lot, and just be prepared to spend a lot of hours in it. But you know, the graphics are really good if that's your thing. Control, I don't rate this game that high to be honest. It was okay, and a bit of a ball ache to get all the achievements in. I enjoyed my time with it in the first playthrough. Didn't enjoy the DLC. Achievement wise, it's okay, but again, you're gonna have to like go around doing a lot. And the DLC, I remember the achievements were a bit of a pain in the arse. Witcher 3, we did it again. It has two separate achievement lists because it's got the Game of the Year version and this is the normal version. Went through, did this again, loved it. Kingdom Hearts HD, 1.5, 2.5, loved this. Loved going back to play Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, amazing games. Great to get all the achievements. You do have to do Chain of Memories in this one, and you also have to do Birth by Sleep. Chain of Memories, very naff game. It's basically like a card game. That was a bit excruciating getting all the achievements in, a bit of a grind. Um, it's not fun. I would definitely recommend playing it though, especially if you're into Kingdom Hearts because it ties the story together with two. Birth by Sleep, I've never played before, and I thought that was a fantastic Kingdom Hearts game. It's a prequel, but the achievements are nuts. You have to fill out all the reports of all three characters, which means doing three full playthroughs, 100% playthroughs of the game. Took me like 100 hours, I believe. It's a long one, but I'm happy to have this on the list. I really enjoyed doing it, and it was tedious though, but I'm proud of that one. Resident Evil 3 is basically a DLC. Gets a lot of hate. I did enjoy it. Not as good as the second remake, and there's a lot of cut content in this one. But yeah, it was a fun one. But yeah, be prepared. Like the story's like 4 hours long. Stranger Things 3, the game. Obviously, was watching the Netflix series, and yeah, saw this and thought I'll give it a go. Not much to say on this. Achievements aren't too bad, to be honest, on this one. But you know, it's also not a terrible license game. I enjoyed my time with it. Um, but I don't really have much else to say on that. Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands. I enjoyed this. It's not as bad as you think it might be. But it's definitely not as good as it should be. Easy completion though. Ori and the Blind Forest, brilliant game. Play it. Achievement wise, it's got one hard achievement in it where you got to complete the game without dying, and that is difficult. Um, I'm not gonna lie, but you know it's more than doable. And if you like the game, you'll want to do it again, and you can speedrun it fairly quickly. Darksiders 2, I liked this game, but my God, it was horrible having to go back, get all the achievements in it, and get all the collectibles. But it is a good game. But if you want all the achievements, just be prepared. You're going to spend. Again, it's one of them where the first playthrough is great, but once you have to do the mop up, it's a bit tedious. Mass Effect 2 is a classic. Achievement wise, fairly simple. Have to complete it on Insane, that's probably the hardest thing. Star Wars Force Unleashed 2. I did like this game. I think probably one of the better Star Wars games back in the day. Achievements were fine, not too bad. It does have DLC though. I would recommend playing this one actually. Modern Warfare, the Call of Duty reboot, simple completion, and it's a COD game. Mafia Definitive Edition. This was a surprise. Like, I played this game and I've never played a Mafia game before, and I absolutely fell in love with this. Brilliant story, great achievement list. You just play it, you enjoy it, and you've pretty much got all the achievements. And then you have to do a hard playthrough, and that's your last achievement pretty much, apart from the odd miscellaneous one. I really recommend playing this game. Crash Bandicoot 4. I love Crash Bandicoot. Like I said, I've played it since I was a kid. This one, oh, it's difficult. It is hard. It's one of the hardest things I've had to do in terms of platforming. You have to get all the insanely perfect relics. You have to get platinum on all the time trials. I'm sure you have to get platinum. Yeah. But this is the one, earn all insanely perfect relics. You have to get every box in the level, and you cannot die once in the level. Have fun with that. It's torturous at times, especially in the levels where you've got to ride an animal. Um, oh, but it's a really good game. Probably not the best rated Crash game, but I think it's really good. It's definitely better than Crash 2. Um, I love my time with this one, and I definitely recommend playing it, but it is difficult, so have fun with that. The medium, I enjoyed it, get slammed a lot, easy completion. If you got Game Pass, I'd definitely recommend playing this. Dragon Quest 11. I love this game. This is one that I just absolutely fell in love with. I've only played, I believe, Dragon Quest 8 when I was younger on a PlayStation. I did like it, but this is the first one I've played since then, and yeah, this is probably in my top three games of all time. If you love turn-based RPGs, like the old school Final Fantasies, you have to do yourself a favor and play this game. It's absolutely brilliant. The love and attention this game gets, the story I just fell in love with. It does so well with telling its story, and it just goes on, but not in a bad way where you want it to end. It's a game that genuinely, the first game I've played in years, apart from maybe The Witcher, where I was sad when it ended and I just wanted to play again. Achievement wise, they're all pretty simple, but they're grindy. But this game is worth every bit of your time. Mirror's Edge Catalyst I had a lot of fun with this one. The achievement's fairly simple. It's got a couple of online ones. I say online, they just need an online connection. But they literally take 2 minutes. But other than that, all of them can be done in single player, and I'd recommend doing it. It's a quick one. You don't have to do anything too difficult either. If you just want a quick sort of completion and you fancy running about doing a bit of parkour, play this game. Outer Worlds, good game. I did enjoy it. Only downside is it does get a bit tedious, and the achievements, it has DLC. I can't remember too much about the achievements, but I think you've got to do a lot of saves where you make decisions and then you have to go through with those decisions, and then you have to load your save, um, and get a different outcome. Lego, again, collectibles. Ori and the Will of the Wisps, brilliant game. I thought this was better than the first one. Please play this game if you like Metroidvania style games. Achievement wise, yeah, pretty simple. Little Nightmares 2, another Little Nightmares. This one's easier than the first one in my opinion. Um, Very good though. Probably a better story well, maybe not a better story, but probably a better game. Destroy Humans, quick completion. I mean, it's a classic if you like that type of game. I enjoyed my time with him, but I probably wouldn't play it again. Layers of Fear 2, basically a walking simulator horror, but it was good. I enjoyed it. Achievement wise, pretty easy. Immortals Phoenix Rising. I fell into the trap of, again, a Ubisoft game that apparently is amazing, and it's so much different to everything else. And this is like a poor man's Zelda. And I don't care what anybody says, if they think it's amazing, good for them. But again, it's classic. Here's 5 zones or 4 zones. You do a bunch of things that seem like they're important, but they're not. It's the same 4 tasks 60 times in all the areas. I mean, the game does look pretty good. And to be fair, I'd say it is better than the Assassin's Creed fucking reboots. Um, but again, you know what you're getting yourself in for when you get one of these. It's not going to be bad, but have fun just doing repetitive stuff. Once if you want all the achievements, you're going to be spending a lot of time on it doing things you've already done before. Fallout 4, I really liked this one. I'm not a Fallout fan, but this one I really enjoyed. Achievement wise, you're in it for the long haul, but they're not too bad. Prototype 2, mediocre game to be honest. Achievements are pretty easy. Actually, they're very easy. Final Fantasy 9, my favourite Final Fantasy game of all time, apart from 10. I think they're equal. I love Final Fantasy 9. Achievements are, they're not easy. I'm just going to say this. If you use boosters, 99% of them are easy. I personally didn't use boosters. I played this game with boosters off, just how I used to play on the PlayStation 1. Got all the achievements that way. It's fine if you don't do that. You know, play it the way you want to play it. So they can be as easy or as hard as you make them to be. But there is one achievement where you've got to get the King of the Jump Rope key item, which means getting 1,000 skips on the skipping rope game. That is gonna be the blocker for some people. It's really not as bad as it sounds, and I promise you, if you just practice it, you will get there. It's just getting the rhythm for certain transitions. I was proud to get that achievement, and I'm glad I've got it. I was always gonna get it. I was not having this game unfinished. Um, but if you're a Final Fantasy fan, obviously you know you must play this game. Nier Replicant, great game. Loved this one too. I preferred this to Nier Automata. I know people will probably, you know, disagree with me, but the music in this, to be fair, in its sequel, the music's really good. The music, but the story in this one I just really liked. Achievements, they're okay, but they are grindy. You've got to get every weapon in the game, I believe, which takes a lot of time. Scarlet Nexus, I'd say it's a very average game. And the achievements, they're fine for the most part, but like the last 20% of them, you're gonna spend a lot of time just grinding. And the game just isn't that good to have to grind. It's worth a playthrough, but if you're a completionist, just be wary that you might not like, 30% of your end time with this game. 12 minutes, crap game. Wish I didn't play it. It's just like this murder mystery game. It's a good concept, but the concept becomes boring after 20 minutes. Psychonauts 2, really good game. Easy achievements. I definitely recommend playing this one. Metal Gear Solid HD, love it. Love Metal Gear. Very hard completion in Metal Gear Solid 2. I say very hard. I wouldn't. It's not exactly hard, but you got to do all the VR missions, and people just are really going to get frustrated with that. There's so many of them, and it takes a lot of time. And some of those VR missions are really difficult as well. Some of the sniping ones people are going to struggle with, but you will be able to do it. I'm glad to have this one. Metal Gear Solid 3 on this HD collection is easy to max out, doesn't take too long. Code Vein, basically a Souls game but anime. I enjoyed it. Achievements, bit grindy, but they're not too bad. World of Warships Legends. This was a multiplayer game I played with a friend. Achievement wise, they're all pretty easy, apart from like one. But most people probably aren't going to play this game anyway. It's a very niche. Well, no, it's not niche. It's quite popular actually, but not many people are going to be achievement hunting and want to play this game. And it's purely multiplayer. Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. Oh boy. So um, this was a bit of a pain in the ass to complete. I've never played these ones before. One of them was basically a demo for Kingdom Hearts 3, just to give you a bit of story insight. And the other one was Dream Drop Distance, and that was I didn't mind the game, but yeah, it's very long and it's it's a JRPG-ish type achievement list, so it's going to take a lot of time. I prefer the other Kingdom Hearts collection. Doom Eternal, very good game, has DLC. Achievement wise, it's fine. Um, it's probably going to take you about 50 hours, but there's nothing too bad in it. Crisis 3, Crisis 2, Crisis Remastered. 2 and 3 I love, and they're really fun to get all the achievements in. Nothing too bad, and the multiplayer's removed in the remasters, so it's just single player. Call of the Sea, it's basically a walking simulator. It Takes Two, brilliant game. Achievement list easy, but you do need somebody to play it with you. GTA Vice City. Okay, well, I loved Vice City, and I wanted to go back and obviously play this and get all the achievements. I hadn't played it in ages, but the port was so disappointing, as we all know. The achievements are not too bad, just had to get 100%. What I will say on this was a fucking nightmare for me because my save game kept corrupting and I had to. It kept corrupting, but luckily it kept like 90% of my game, so I only had to keep doing the final 10%. But I had to collect the hidden packages about 6 times because my save got corrupted about 6 times, and I do not know if that is fixed, so you might want to check that before playing this. Other than that, it's fine to get the maxi on. Yeah, I mean the ports are disappointing, but it was fun to play through it again. Death's Door, recommend playing this. Fairly quick and easy completion. Nothing too difficult to mention in it. You do have to go through the game just using the starting weapon though. But I recommend playing this. Guardians of the Galaxy, really fun one. Quick achievement list. You're gonna have a good time playing this. Lego Lord of the Rings, probably the best Lego game there is. Um, really enjoyed my time with this. If you love Lord of the Rings and you like Lego, yeah, play it. Collectible city though. Elden Ring, obviously, like most people's greatest game of all time. This one's probably the easiest From Software game to get all the achievements in my opinion. And I definitely recommend doing it. Soma, really good game. The story's really good. Achievements are easy if you want a quick completion, play it. But I honestly recommend playing this just for the story. Biomutant, very mediocre. Not much to say on this to be honest. Achievement wise, fairly simple, just quite long. Mafia 2, brilliant game. I really struggle whether this is better than the first one or not because I really like the first one. It was my entry point into it. But yeah, I think Mafia 2 is a better game to be honest. The story's brilliant in this one too, and it intertwines with the first one in a very cool way, which I won't spoil. I definitely recommend playing this. Achievement wise, massive ball ache though. Only on the DLC, I believe you have to drive a car for like 1,000 miles, which takes a long time. So you're going to be spending a long time just holding RT driving around. But I definitely recommend playing this one. It's good to have the completion. Saints Row the Third. I don't. I just. It's if you want to have a laugh, fine. But if you're an achievement hunter and you want to get all the achievements in this, you're probably gonna not like it. Black Ops Cold War. Mediocre COD game. The multiplayer is a ball ache. One of the achievements you have to get 10 Fireteam medals, I believe, and that game mode was pretty much dead when I played this. So that was a pain in the ass for me. Skywalker Saga, Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. Very good Lego game. If you love Lego and you love Star Wars, play this. They've done a great job. Like remastering the Lego type Star Wars games, but it's a grind. It is a grind. You're gonna spend a lot of time getting this maxed out. So just be prepared for that. and I think it's butchered me. I don't think I could play a Lego game for a long time after this one. Alan Wake Remastered, great game. Achievement wise, pretty simple. Just be prepared for a lot of collectibles. You're gonna need a guide. Revelations 2, Resident Evil. Yeah, I mean it's okay. If you like Resident Evil, play it. You'll have a good time with it. Achievements aren't too bad, but you're going to be replaying a lot of the levels over and over to get all the campaign medals, and you have to do speed runs, stuff like that. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, yeah, this is what killed me from Ubisoft games. This is why I'll never play any more Ubisoft games as far as I'm concerned. This one, getting all the achievements, if you value your life and your time, do not play this game. I also don't rate it very highly as a game, nor an Assassin's Creed game. It is, it frustrates me because the first 5 hours of Valhalla I thought were brilliant. I thought they'd done a great job, and I was like, oh my God, you know what? They're going somewhere with this. And then, classic fashion, the the storyline just becomes defragmented, nothing progresses. You're just doing repetitive missions and tasks and things you've literally done in all the other games to then get to a point where the story doesn't even make sense in my opinion. And the main leader of your group just fucks off for like half the game and then comes back with one arm, or I think he gets capped. I think he becomes a prisoner and you have to go rescue him. It's so like the story is just so all over the place in my opinion. And getting all the achievements, don't do it to yourself. Just don't. Maybe play it on an alternate account. But yeah, if you want all the achievements, you're gonna have a miserable time. And I'd say stay away because I had to do some horrible things to get this. You have to literally get everything in the game across the whole map. It took me ages. How long did I play it for? A long time, I should think. 7 days. Yeah. And the Tombs of the Fallen DLC? Oh no, that wasn't too bad, but there was another DLC, the Mastery Challenges. Have fun with those. Yeah, you're going to be in for a world of hurt if you play that game. Soul Hackers 2, made by the people, I believe, that like make Persona, or it might not be made by them, but it's published by Atlas. Um, or made by Atlas, so it could well be. Definitely nowhere near as good as the Persona games, which I haven't played on this profile, but I have played a bit of the Persona games. It was a bit of a grind, this one. Resident Evil Village, great game, brilliant game, I loved it. Also has DLC, which was mediocre, but the achievements on this aren't too bad. Highly recommend playing this. Plague Tale Requiem, play this game if you've played the first one. This one has a brilliant story and looks amazing achievement wise. Yeah, it's just to play the game. You might have to look at a collectible guide here and there, but it's very fun. Scorn, mediocre. I wouldn't recommend playing this. You need a guide as well, otherwise you're going to spend about 12 hours just running around in circles. Call of Duty Vanguard, surprisingly not the worst Call of Duty in my opinion. I enjoyed this one. It's obviously it's not amazing, but I don't think it should get the hate it gets. I actually quite like the multiplayer as well. Fairly easy list. Story though, yeah, it's quite fragmented into just, it's not really a story if I'm honest. It's literally flashbacks. Lego the Hobbit, yeah, not as good as Lego Lord of the Rings, but still a good Lego game. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII. I really enjoyed this, and I think they did a good job with this remake. Um, but it's definitely not as good in my opinion as the other Final Fantasies, like the retro ones. But again, they did a really good job with this, and it was the first time I'd ever played Crisis Core, to be fair, and I thought the story was very good. Hogwarts Legacy, I really enjoyed this. I think they did a great job with this game as a starting point, and it's everything I wanted it to be out of a Hogwarts game, but they do need to flesh out some of their systems, I believe. I think they need to add a bit more. But I think they played it a bit safe with this one, but they did a brilliant job, like adding the magic into the game. Achievement list, really enjoyed it. It is a grind. It's a bit tedious towards the end because it makes you pretty much do everything the game has to offer. But I definitely recommend playing it. Callisto Protocol, fucking hell, where do we start on this? This was probably the worst decision I made in a long time, like since Valhalla. Very, very mediocre game, underwhelming, basically a cutscene game, where literally all you do is shimmy through doors and crevices and then flick the stick left and right every now and again to fight. Um, and yeah, the achievements, dear God, I didn't think I'd ever max this game out because the achievements are so broken. When they released DLC, it stopped all the other achievements unlocking for me, and I had to do some crazy stuff. Like, I had to play the game. The only way achievements would unlock was if I uninstalled the game, reinstalled it, and the achievement I was going for I had to do in one sitting, and I couldn't back out. I couldn't quit the game. I had to do the whole game in one sitting. And the DLC achievements were horrible. They kept making you replay the campaign over and over again. I played this campaign about 10 times. I hated every second of my life playing this, apart from the first 5 hours when I did one playthrough of it, which I enjoyed, but I still was underwhelmed. Dead Space 3, immediately after, apparently, I wanted a decent survival horror to play. Um, this is probably the weakest of the Dead Space series, but still a good game, in my opinion. And it's a very good co-op game. Now, play the Dead Space games, and if you like the Dead Space games, I do think you'll like this one, but it is more action orientated. Achievement-wise, it is difficult. I say it's difficult only because you have to play hardcore, and that's a one life game mode. It's a permadeath. If you die, you got to start the game again. I know people will struggle with that just because it's tense. That adds a lot of pressure to you. But hardcore, I don't think is very difficult. It gives you a lot. The only time you're gonna die is on maybe the set pieces or the fucking abseiling section where you have to like go up the mountain because that part of the game's so broken. But when I started this on hardcore not too long ago, actually, I didn't die. I managed to do it in one run and I didn't die, so you know I lucked out a bit there. But I was very careful. If you take your time, you will be okay. And you have to play this game about 3 or 4 times before you get to hardcore anyway. Ravenlock, this was a fun one, just a chilled game. Achievements are fairly easy. I got them in like 5 hours or so. Um, Not much to say on it. Dead Space Remake. Um, this game is brilliant. The original Dead Space is brilliant, but the remake they've done a brilliant job. Um, with just they haven't butchered anything with this one. It's literally they have added side quests and stuff, which I thought was a bit questionable. Some of those were a bit annoying, in my opinion, having to go back a lot on the Ishimura. But, you know, if you like Dead Space, you must play this game. Stray, this is where we started the channel. Well, this is where I started making the YouTube channel. I do have Dead Space recorded, so there will be a video on that at some point. But Stray, this is where we started the channel. Um, Achievements very straightforward. There's literally one achievement where you have to do a speed run, but it's fine. You've got a lot of wiggle room. There is one achievement where you have to go through a part of the chapter without getting attacked by some of these enemies, which is the hardest achievement in the game. But you know, give it half hour, you'll get there. Definitely recommend playing though. Okay, so now we got GTA 5. Yeah, this is fine in terms of if you don't play the DLC. It's long and there's collectibles, but getting the 100% isn't too bad. But as soon as they added the mastermind challenges, that's when this got very hard. Because it's not in your hands, you need consistent people to be able to get all the achievements in this game. I had a friend who we played a lot of this game together. Um, and the Doomsday Mastermind challenges weren't they're not as bad as they sound, but you need to play with 3 people and you need to play with 4 people for 2 of those challenges, and you have to do the heist without dying. And it's really not too bad. You just got to take it slow, you got to take it easy. But the people you're playing with need to be consistent. You have to be on the same level. You have to be on the same page of what you're doing, because it requires a lot of cooperation in that and communication. Yeah, I'm proud of these. I'm proud of this one. The Series X is an auto pop, by the way. I did it on GTA. I did it on Xbox One, sorry. And then the Series X version come out, and I just booted the game out, downloaded my Xbox One save, and it just popped all the achievements. So I haven't done this twice. I've only done it once, and that one was free. Slender the Arrival. Got a YouTube video on this. You should check it out. Um, yeah, I enjoyed this. It's a good sort of like horror walking simulator. It's quite tense at times, and the achievements aren't too bad. Cuphead, loved this game. Brilliant game. It is difficult, but in a good way. It's fun to progress, and it always feels fair. It always feels fair to me. Um, there's the odd time, obviously, it's gonna build up your rage a bit. But I definitely recommend playing this game. It's so well made as well. There's so much love in this game. SpongeBob Cosmic Shake. Yeah, it's not as good as Bikini Bottom in my opinion, but it's decent if you just want to have a laugh and play a little platformy game. A fair few collectibles in it, but it's not too bad. Sonic Frontiers, very underwhelmed by this. This got very good reviews. Well, I say very good reviews. Um, from what I saw, there was quite good positivity around, Sonic, this one being a better Sonic game. I don't think it was bad. I know I enjoyed it, don't get me wrong, but it was very tedious. There's a lot of collectibles. Cyberpunk, very underwhelming game for me. I don't recommend. If you want all the achievements in this game, it's not fun, in my opinion. I wouldn't say don't play the game because I think it's okay, but it's nowhere near the level of what CD Projekt Red is capable of. Rocket League, I've played this for so long. I love this game. All the achievements are very easy though. Just got to play the game a bit. I recommend play if you like car football. If you like driving cars and you like football, car football, it's worth playing. Code Veronica, got a video on this. I love this Resident Evil. It's a great game. Achievements quite tense, and a little bit difficult, but yeah, they wore me out these because you have to do a rank playthrough, which isn't hard once you've done it, but it's a lot of pressure. Call of Duty, now this is Modern Warfare 2 and it's Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 3 was a DLC that they've just added onto this, so that really annoyed me. And I've got a video on this. It sucks, and yeah, the Modern Warfare 2 achievements are fine. The Modern Warfare 3 achievements that they added as DLC, awful. Ghostwire Tokyo, really enjoyed this game, but it is a collectible nightmare. You have to get so many collectibles, so just be prepared for that. Tales of Arise. Yeah, I really liked this Tales game, but it dragged once the DLC came out for me. The achievements are fairly easy, to be honest, and I definitely recommend playing it. Play it if you like RPGs. Um, and it's a good entry level Tales game. Wo Long, this is like a poor man's Dark Souls. It's good, but it's nowhere near on the level of like a Dark Souls game with polish. And if you really want, if you've played Dark Souls and there's just, you've played them to death or you've played them all and you just want to scratch that itch, I'd say play this. But achievements, yeah, a bit of a ball ache and it has a lot of DLC. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, video on this. And I will be doing the second and third one. I will be doing the collection, so keep an eye out for that. Brilliant game, love Metal Gear. Enough said on that. Achievements on this are pretty easy, apart from the big boss rank or the Foxhound rank, but that's probably the easiest of the three, as you can just save 100 times. So there's a lot of room for error. Like there is a time limit. I think you have to do it in under 3 hours, but yeah, you can literally clear out a room, save it. If you have any problems, just go back to that save, and you can just sort of balk your way through it. Jedi Survivor, better than the first one in every way, in my opinion, apart from story. I think the story's a bit weak on this. Very good game though, and I do think the combat could be a bit tighter. Achievement wise, you're gonna have a fun time. Apart from the last 10 hours, This I really enjoyed, but once you've completed the game and you've just got to mop up, it's gonna be a bit tedious for you, and the map fucking sucks. I don't know why they don't change the 3D map they've got on this. And then we end with Resident Evil 4. Brilliant game. I love this remake, probably the best remake they've done. This game's top tier anyway, but the remake is they've done a brilliant job on this. Achievements, they are a bit difficult in my opinion if you're not spending money. Like, you know, I mean, I'm not a pussy, so I'm not going to spend money to make the game easier. It's fine if you do play it how you want. I'm not judging. I'm just saying. Um, but the DLC was separate ways. You had to do on professional and get an S plus rank. Um, I did that without the Chicago typewriter, and it was okay, but yeah, that was quite difficult in my opinion, and they're just quite tense. But otherwise, achievements, you're more than capable of doing them. But that's everything. That's all the achievements on all my games. So I've got 100% completion across the board now. I hope you've enjoyed watching and it's given you some insight into what I've played and my collection as a whole. If there's anything you want me to get all the achievements in, any game suggestions, just drop a comment down below. And take it easy. And thanks for watching.